like a Western suit, so a shirt and a suit. But since, well, the weather, so he asked his tailor, can you come up with something which is really smart? It's only one layer, but still looks like a suit. So that's what I'm wearing now. Also, today's food will be very Thai, and tomorrow we will have a bit more a mix of Thai and Western. But we did a tasting a couple of days ago, and we made sure to make it not too spicy. You can add your own spice if you want to add more. Talking about clothing, Steam Style. Nate, are you here yet, or are you traveling with kids and late? Yes. I saw Nate yesterday. He's here, but he's here with his kids. Okay, so, hey. You should say me that the slides are not corresponding with my talk, because I'm looking at the right side of the preview monitor. Nate, Steam Style, are you here yet? No. Yeah, a round of applause is not needed for somebody who's not here, but Nate, thanks a lot for making the design, and thanks to a budget surplus, we could print the shirt for everyone. And speaking of thanking, I really want to thank all the SteemFest sponsors for this year, because they made it happen that most of you got here for 50% discount of what it costs me to have you here and serve you and feed you. So first off, SteemIt Incorporated, they're hiding over there. Thanks a ton for this huge support. And they're here with a big delegation. I'm sure some of you already talked to them yesterday. They will be here lined up right after me. Block Trades, Dan and Dania, they flew 4 legs all the way from the US. Thanks a lot for your support, and also thanks a lot for supporting the community-driven various competitions, because I mean that really helps. It's super that you, next to supporting the event directly, you also supported these community competitions. Really awesome. Thanks a lot. Smooth, you're here. Oh no, we were discussing earlier. Who's Smooth, actually? He's there, ladies and gentlemen. Smooth. Thanks a lot, Smooth. Thank you, Smooth. I see you, man. Just like 3 years ago, I see you there. Or maybe it's too early for you, not sure. Peerplace Grants is from the Peerplace blockchain, which is also based on the same software we are using for Steam. And they have, just like the Steam worker proposal system, they also have something like this in place where you can apply for. So if you want to make a nice project for their blockchain, you want to kickstart your company related to gaming, then check out the ad in the program booklet where they explain more on how to apply for that. Agrot, thank you. Splinterlands, formerly known as Steam Monsters, thanks a lot for being here, being on the Steam chain, and thanks for this dual sponsorship together with Steam Engine. I'm really curious, once SMTs launch, how this will all play out, but I guess you guys might have thought of it. Yes, there's peace in the Middle East? Okay, cool. Okay. Let's talk to it, right. Because Agrot will be on stage after SteemIt Inc. and introduce Splinterlands, and tomorrow he'll introduce Steam Engine. Then, did you make it in time? Tree Speak. Yes, okay, hi guys. Thanks Don for jumping in at such late timing. Thanks a lot for being here, and thank you for the sponsorship, and congrats on the newly launched website. It's a pity I tried to rip the logo, but it was so tiny it would not look nice. So please, next time, ship me the logo as well. But thanks a lot, and congrats on the new website. Okay, lastly we have Grab. It's a local Uber app. I shouldn't say that, most probably they don't want to be compared to competitors, but there will be transportation set up. This afternoon we go to Siam area by BTS. We'll hand out tickets to the train. After the bowling we go by bus back to the hotel. Tomorrow morning we go by bus as well. At night we have a surprise drive back to the hotel tomorrow. But if somehow you're staying at a different place or you need a taxi, this is really convenient. You pay what you are ought to pay, not some farang price. And there are some discount codes. I mailed you all about it. So please check the emails and try to apply them. I'm not sure. I hope they work. I guess they work. Lastly, we have 4 people who bought a support ticket, which actually also kind of a sponsorship because they paid more than it cost them to be here. So I would say they're the for-profit people, or the other way around. I don't know how to say, but Dylan, did you make it already? No, he's in the hotel, so he's in traffic. Gamer Zero, I saw you. Thanks a lot for your support. Gandalf, I don't know who it is, but thank you very much. And Dan also thanking you for the support tickets. And I couldn't have done it without the volunteers team. Some are sitting right now at the desk. Ashwara, Shannon, Firepower, Vince is here behind the Pusio, is doing the presentations today. Varun and Varun, thanks a lot guys for helping me during the event. Without you, I couldn't do it. Stay motivated, stay happy, stay fresh, don't drink, and drive. The media team, Esco and My New Life, Raf, did they make it already? They should be recording this. Okay, it's a Thai lifestyle. And my wife, Helene, you're, I hope, on the camera right now in the hotel. She will come in later with our kids. I'm really happy they are here this time. Okay, see you in a bit, honey. On the other, yeah. And we have the travel reimbursement like every year. Unfortunately, this year, I don't know why. Maybe it's the Steam price. Well, we should discuss it maybe during some drinks, but there's not... I mean, the first year, I think we had 14K US dollars to issue to everybody. So this year, if you want to have, if each of you applies, you get $1. And you get $1. So if you want, so this year we also not really like checking up where you came from. If you want $1, go to the form. If you don't apply for it, someone else will get a little bit more than $1. So, but do it. I will pay out after the event. Yeah, the mobile app, if you don't have it yet, you should have it, because I can text you, and I like to text you. Sometimes I forgot it this morning. And there is a funny game in the mobile app this year. And I think I have some guy who also said he wanted to dress up. He was looking at some Beatles Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band dress in pink, because he wanted to oust me in dressing up. Ladies and gentlemen, Arkanj will introduce the SteemFest challenge for SteemFest.
Hi. So welcome to Bangkok. Who was in Krakow last year? Oh, a lot of people. Perfect. So I guess you enjoyed the Meet the Steemian contest I created for Krakow edition of SteemFest. And a lot of people asked me to redo it. So here we are again for a new edition of the contest. So why a contest at SteemFest? I wanted you to have fun, to add a bit of fun on top of the fun we all have here. I wanted you to meet people, because that's the main goal of SteemFest, is to engage with others. And I wanted you to make new friends. I made a lot of friends here at all edition of SteemFest, and I'm always happy to meet them again. So that's one of my goals. How does it work, the contest? I guess you already started yesterday. To participate, you need to make a proof of scan. So it's really easy. You need to find someone you don't have met yet. Roland, where are you? I need to scan you. Okay, it's not there. So you take the SteemFest app, you scan his code, or you enter manually his name. You have a small talk. You have to wait 2 minutes. So the idea is not to scan, but scan, talk, and then scan. And then when you have talk for 2 minutes, you can ask your fellow to scan you back. And then, voila, you got 1 point. The more points you get, the closer you are from the top of the contest. I wanted to add something special, something new to this edition. I wanted to raise the bar. So we forked our own contest, and we add a new rule. It's a POH that will help you to get bonus. What does POH stand for? Do you have any idea? It's proof of hug. Yeah. How does it work? It's really easy. We will involve, we were 2 last year, now we will be 3, we will make some threesome. Sorry. So you need to find someone who will witness your hug. You will ask him to make a picture of you both hugging, and then he will post, let's make a...
Can you make a picture, please?
Yeah. Okay, take your smartphone and make a picture. Yeah. Peace and love. So good. Yeah.
This take a long Is this everything ugly?
Yeah. Okay. You said I have 2 minutes only. Okay, then. Okay, you post your picture on Steam and you use the tag proof of hug and you mention both names of the people who were hugging. And then each of the 3, so the 2 huggers and the witness, will get 5 additional points. Okay? Check who you are, please, because a lot of people started to scan someone else before scanning themselves. So please check your name on the app to be sure that you get the point and you are not giving your points to someone else. Okay? If it's not you, you have to delete the app and to reinstall and you restart from scratch. I'm sorry. So all details are on the Steemit board blog. Have fun, meet, and hack them all. Thank you.
Thank you, Arkanj. Okay, guys. Proof of hug. Remember. And execute on it, I guess. I will. I'm available for hugging. Okay, so 2 more slides. This afternoon we go to, afterwards I said we go with the BTS SkyTrain, rush hour, but it's still better than bus rush hour. We will issue some tickets to you guys at the end of the event, today's event, and it's really close by. It's a 200-meter walk, and then we go 5 stops, and then we are at the Wat Patun Varam. It's bizarre. I mean, it's downtown Siam, all the high-risers, the BTS, the freeway, and then in the middle you have this oasis of serenity. Obviously, it is religion, so I get it if you don't want to go there, but I figured it could be nice. We have some English-speaking guides who can tell you more about the culture and about the religion itself. The only thing is that I said out also earlier that you need to take into consideration that you respect the religion. So obviously there's no smoking, drinking, but also no sexy dress. No sexy is what the tour guides here say. No sexy, no sexy. So if you feel like you're dressed too sexy, don't wanna, then you might consider down here buy a simple shawl, a sarong to cover up yourself. Otherwise, you can't get in, really. So that's the guides will tell you that. But if you want to do it, get it. Afterwards, we go bowling. If you didn't sign up for a bowling team yet, find 4 people, sign up with those guys. Or if you have your own internet connection, go to bit.ly or jump SF4 bowling and sign up your team, please. So then your name will be actually on the screens tonight. If you don't sign up, you will just get a random number assigned. So if you want to be cool, form your team in this coffee break. Do it. Oh yeah, and then you can win, of course, the awesome trophies. Yeah, that's about it. Questions? Go to the SteemFest desk in the corner. Volunteers will help you out. And if you haven't done so, connect on the Telegram channel. I wish you a great event. And yeah, see you all around. I'm great. I'm happy to see that now the room is slowly more filled up. Guys, have a nice SteemFest. And let me introduce to you also Steemit Incorporated, who will be well, taking the stage. Thanks a lot. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think they're still rehearsing. I think they're still deploying a testnet or something. Are you? Oh, I see Tim is working on HiveMind. Tim, HiveMind, man. When's the due date? Okay, guys, please come on the stage. I have some water for you. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Andraki.
Oh, the clicker.
Yeah, you have a clicker.
Hey, everybody. We're all just going to come out and sit down.
Yes, thank you.
Just gonna sit.
Thank you, and thanks everybody for coming out. Like, give yourselves a round of applause for coming out to Thailand, coming all this way. We really appreciate it and hope everything's okay over there. So we're just going to talk a bit about what everybody here is doing to advance our mission of onboarding the masses to the blockchain by tokenizing the web. One of the things that probably doesn't get talked about enough is like, why we want to make that happen. You know, we don't advocate for blockchain adoption just for the sake of it. We all believe very much that this technology has the capability to give people back control and ownership over their information and make using the internet a more rewarding experience. You know, mental illness is at an all-time high. You know, the internet is being an unhealthy influence over people's lives, and our goal is to use this technology to make it a force for good again. And so they're going to talk about how they're using this technology in various ways to advance that mission and to solve these really difficult human problems. But we're going to start off with a fairly novel approach to blockchain presentations, not by talking about highly technical specifications that nobody understands or cares about, but instead by talking about building an actually sustainable business in such a volatile environment. As many of you know, Steemit faced an existential crisis not too long ago, and we were really staring death in the face. And well, you know, it was unsustainable. And I know I can speak for the whole team when I say that there's one person who deserves special praise for getting us through that difficult time and setting us on a path of sustainability, and that is the woman sitting next to me, Elizabeth Powell, who's going to talk a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Andrew. That was a very nice introduction. Thank you all so much. And I want to say thank you to Roland for bringing us all together for SteemFest⁴. Roland, thank you. Yeah, without his tenacity and dedication, we wouldn't all be here sitting together. And so it's fun for me to be able to meet all of you, very instrumental community members. We were at Poland SteemFest⁴ last year. I didn't get a chance to meet quite as many people, but I'm very much looking forward to getting to know more of you. And what a great place to be. I never in a million years imagined I would be in Bangkok. I'm not a huge traveler, and so this was a really great opportunity. It's a beautiful country, amazing city, but standing here in front of you, or sitting, as the managing director of Steemit, talking to you, this amazing, beautiful community, it blows my mind. So thank you again for all your support. I feel like The sentiment has definitely turned around from this time last year, and considering the price of Steam, I think that says a lot. It says a lot that you're here, so thank you again. So what got me here as managing director? Well, a lot of long flights, first of all. Just kidding. So I was brought on about a year and a half ago to head up the communications team. I was tasked with building a world-class team that was going to finally take Steemit and Steam to the masses. Through marketing strategies, media, public relations, social media, I built a team really quick, and it was a great team. And just as things were starting to hit their stride, we were faced with the terrible bear market staring us in the face. And all of a sudden, the bear market had a different plan for us. Things had to change. Our infrastructure costs far outpaced the revenue. And as Andrew said, it was a very difficult time. It did feel like a death, honestly, because we had to let go of 70% of our staff. Not only the team that I had just brought on, but also many, many great engineers. So Ned had to make some very tough decisions, but in order to keep the company alive, we had to do that. And so after making those very hard changes, okay, what is our plan? And so working alongside Ned and his vision and the senior management team, we came up with a roadmap. And it was very simple. Cut costs, add revenue. Makes pretty much sense, right? Like a business, operate like a real business. So that's what we did, and that's what we've been doing. With the help of Christy White, head of operations, we cleaned up our books. We got rid of expenses that were not necessary, including a very fancy office in downtown Austin, Texas, and really found innovative ways to just shave costs. And then from an engineering perspective, Justin, there you are, creating a roadmap of how can we fix some infrastructure issues. Our Amazon Web Services bills were $120,000 a month. That was great. We had one month that was $200,000. And so the team, especially with Michael and Steve Gerbino, by implementing things such as Mira, we were able to shave those costs by 70%. Chrissy just told me today we got our bills $30,000 a month. That's amazing. So great job. Other innovations such as HiveMind. Tim's the brainchild of that, helped reduce costs even further, and also built the backbone for communities, which he will talk about more later. So at the end of the day, we felt like, okay, we've put in all of these processes, we've hit our milestones, so now what? The revenue part. One of the things as managing director and working alongside Andrew is I wanted to really re-engage with the community. We needed to listen more, we needed to communicate more, and so that's what we did. And a lot of people had been suggesting for months, why don't you guys start doing ads on Steemit.com? We certainly have the traffic, we certainly have the eyeballs, and it's a very niche community. So that's what we did. We listened, and we started out very simple with Google AdSense. Okay, will this thing work? And it did. So we thought, wow, okay, how can we continue to iterate this and grow revenue? It was a group effort. Justin and the developers had to create new ad code. Condenser is not like your average everyday website, and so creating these ad units took a lot of time and effort. But we are finally at a place where we found great ad network partners. The revenue continues to soar, and we've also added a real sales program. We have Jack is his name. He comes from a very solid advertising sales background, who is doing for the first time ever for this company a real outbound sales program. And the leads pipeline is great. He just closed his first deal on Monday, and so I am really, really hopeful that this ad program is gonna take off. Now, are we at a point yet where ad revenue is going to cover all the costs? Not quite, but we're getting there. So that's exciting. So milestone, cost cutting, revenue, check. Now what? Well, okay, what's our flagship app? Has anyone heard of Steemit.com? Okay, yeah, so it needs a lot of work, and we all know that. We have from signups to user retention to basic UI issues. So our focus now is to really look at what we can do to steemit.com to bring people back and to keep them. So with communities, like you're going to hear more about that from Roadscape, and then SMTs from Vandenberg, we are finally able to go back and focus on our core asset, which is steemit.com. And so many have asked, do you guys even have a vision? Like, what is your long-term plan? Yes, we do have a vision. We do have a mission, and that is to, as Andrew said, onboard the masses by tokenizing the web, by creating new features to steemit.com, by fixing some UI issues, by bringing communities. For the first time ever, online communities are going to have the financial tools that they've so needed for so long to really build a community. And so it's just exciting. The future, the new Steem, the new Steemit is here. We made it. It was a very long journey. Again, you guys stuck with us. I feel like we're more open and receptive to community contributions, ideas, suggestions, and we're just very excited and happy to be here. So without further ado, let's talk about the new Steem. I want to introduce Michael Vandenberg, who, yep, you all know Vandenberg. He is the backbone of the Steem blockchain, and he has some very exciting things that he's going to be discussing with you guys, particularly tomorrow in a session. Is it? Or no, it's today, sorry. Later today, so to talk about smart media tokens. I highly encourage you to sit in on that. It's going to be a very, very exciting presentation. So without further ado, thank you again. I give you Vandenberg.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor to be back at SteemFest. It was so much fun 2 years ago in Lisbon, and I'm glad to be back with you all and get to shake hands and catch up, just interact face to face. There's so much more we can do talking face to face and building relationships that we can't do over Steemit and Slack and other means. So it's truly an amazing opportunity to be here with you all. And as Andrew and Elizabeth have stated, our goal, our mission is to onboard the masses to the blockchain through the tokenization of the web. And the Steem blockchain has been absolutely fantastic to us. It's been powering this whole ecosystem for, 3.5 years now. But in order for us to truly grow into the next phase of our growth, there were some obstacles with the blockchain itself that we needed to overcome to set us up for success in the future. And those obstacles this last year led to us developing several new products, resource credits, Mira, platform independent state files that would all lay the groundwork for SMTs so that we can actually grow those to the level that we need to. And as we began developing these products, we initially started, Steemit has pain points. Our costs were too high. There were things that we were struggling with that we needed to address. And as we began designing and looking at that, it became clear that we're not the only ones with these pains, that those pains are being felt by all of our developers, everyone in the ecosystem. And so we've been making a conscious effort to consider our developers as we're developing these products. And I believe this is a new chapter in Steemit, that we are making developers a focus in our design process, that we want to make SteemD cheaper and easier to run for everybody, because when our developers succeed, their users succeed, and regardless of whether they're using Busy or Splinterlands or Steemit.com, when their users succeed, that's good for all of us. We all benefit from that. And so we want to make sure that developers continue to be front and center of our efforts. I do want to spend a little bit of time digging into our products, because just to give you what we've been doing. Back in September 2018, we released resource credits, and those allowed us to provide a more consistent user experience as far as utilizing the blockchain, while more accurately accounting for all of our costs to try to prevent runaway growth and just unbounded growth. And I feel like resource credits have been very successful at that, but it's also not a product that's complete. And so we're continuing to innovate on that, and I'm really excited that with SMTs, we are adding RC delegation pools, which for the first time will allow users to delegate resource credits directly, separate from SteemPower. I think this is huge because our faucet and other faucets will be able to provide resource credits to new users without having to worry about SteemPower being used improperly for rewards. Additionally, those resource credits will be able to be oversubscribed, and so we will have better utilization of our resource credits for more users. And ultimately, that'll allow us and other faucets and other apps out there to provide a much more consistent user experience. I think that's going to be huge. This last year, we worked on Mira, which moved the blockchain database out of high-performant solutions such as memory, fast NVMEs, and we've now been able to move that database to commodity SSDs and even spinning disk drives. Just for our nodes in particular, prior to Mira, we were running 64 gigabyte servers on 2 terabyte NVMEs. That is after we made the switch to HiveMind, so those were already smaller SteamD nodes than we were running a year ago this time. We're now running on 32 gigabyte servers with network attached storage, and that ends up being about 70% cheaper than what we were running. We are running 16 gigabyte nodes in our dev environment, and we're confident an 8 gigabyte configuration for a light seed node is possible. So, I think they're impressive numbers, but I think what's more important is what those numbers represent, and that's the fact that we've moved one of the primary resources that we needed to scale on from a high-cost resource to a much cheaper resource. And that is going to allow Steam to continue to grow and to scale into the future without increasing costs by nearly as much as it has in the past. Ever since we launched Steam, we've constantly been having to, every 4 to 6 months, we had to run Steam on bigger and bigger servers without fail, just kept increasing. Without these innovations, we would be needing servers bigger than what Amazon provides. And we'd be in a whole lot of trouble. The fact that we have 70% savings, but that's not the entire story, because by this point we would have had to increase our server size again. And so the actual savings is a lot more than a budget sheet is ever going to say. And we're not even done with Mira. We've been continuing since release to improve performance on Mira. Our replay times are getting faster. We have the in-memory, or hybrid in-memory replay. We've, for SMTs, with platform-independent state files, we've been having to continue to improve Mira to make sure that it is as fast and as efficient as possible. There are going to be more performance improvements before SMTs are out, and we're already looking forward to the future of what will this technology allow us to do in other parts of the SteamD software stack. And a few ideas that we're tossing around. I believe we can re-implement how our undo states work and actually be able to provide lockless APIs, which will once and for all get rid of the database lock errors, as well as having continual saving of platform-independent state files essentially as a service for free when you're running your node. So there's a lot of cool innovations that we want to continue doing with Mira and continue to improve that to make SteamD as useful as possible to everybody. We've also been developing platform-independent state files, which is something we kind of have been talking about for a while now. Anybody who runs a SteamD knows that when there's bugs or new hard forks, replays are often part of that upgrade process. And when Steam started out, it's like, okay, you replay for 30 minutes and you're good. Now it's taking days, if not longer, and that it's only going to continue to get longer as the blockchain grows. And so platform-independent state files are a way for us to get that database state out to more people. Inherently, I think a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space are a little bit fearful of anything like you delivering a state file centralized, but the design of platform-independent state files is such so that those state those files are deterministically generated and cryptographically verifiable. And so anyone running a SteamD node can generate the state file themselves and verify that it's the correct state to what we would be hosting or someone else. And so we're really looking forward to what the community is going to do with that as a decentralized way to manage all of our nodes and get any node operator up and running as quickly and painlessly as possible. And of course, all of this is laying the groundwork for SMTs. We're so excited about SMTs. If the killer app in cryptocurrency is tokenization to align incentives for groups of people with common interests, which we believe that is the killer app for cryptocurrency, then SMTs are going to deliver that easier than any other product with more and they're infinitely customizable. And so we truly believe that it's going to revolutionize this space. October 11th, we released the testnet, which we're so excited to get it out there. It felt like, for a while there, it felt like it was never going to happen. And just getting it out there and having people test it has been an amazing experience. We've already found and fixed some bugs. Inertia, which I don't know if he's here. He's one of our fantastic community developers. Has the privilege and honor of being the first person to create an SMT on the testnet. And we're so excited that this testing is happening. And really, this is going to be the longest and most in-depth testing period that we've ever had for any Steam release. We want to make sure that when SMTs are fully released, that we are 100% confident in both their design and execution. And really, the only way we're going to do that is by getting that in your hands and having our developers using SMTs on a test net, playing around with the behaviors, and ensuring that this is the product that is what we all need it to be. And we have a little bit of a surprise for you later. The teased, we have a SMT blockchain presentation. We've been sharing how SMTs will allow you to create a token without needing to write any smart contract code. But we also think it would be really cool if you could create a token without needing to write any code. And so we've been working on a little SMT wizard that'll let everybody, regardless of your technical background, create an SMT. So I hope you will all join us later when we'll demo that to you. We're really excited to share that with you today. So I'm gonna hand it over to Tim, who is our senior product engineer, and to talk some about the future of Steemit.com.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Steve, for the level of care you guys have put into the blockchain. It's really delicate and it's really high caliber work, not for the faint of heart. And I'm really glad we have you on that. And I also want to thank the greater Steam community for sticking around during the hard times and for your tenacity in sticking it through after the honeymoon period was over. Many blockchain projects launch by selling the dream, but once a project becomes tangible, challenges set in and it loses its shininess. People get distracted and they move on to the next dream. So I'm here because you are all still here and we're in this together. It's going to be our contributions that take this platform to its next phase. As senior product engineer, I inherited a really messy situation. The immense unrealized potential of the blockchain and the technology we have. And on the front end, a heavy amount of technical debt, making it difficult to move forward. And on top of all that, a few resources to bridge the gap. What Steemit experienced over the last few years, I think, can be summed up by first mover disadvantage. It's really expensive to be first. You have the cost of investing in all the infrastructure, investing in educating your customers, and it's riddled with pitfalls. In a lot of cases, this leads to defense fatigue or basically organizational burnout. But we've learned a lot over the last 3 years. And I also believe in a sort of leapfrog effect, which is others get to learn from our lessons for free. But they're still forced to make risky innovations on top of it and their own new original mistakes. So we sit on the sidelines, we watch them work it out, and then it's our turn to leap ahead. We take our turn as the free rider. So, my entire focus right now is on Steemit.com. It's my job to take the underlying technology and show people what's possible. And I'm really annoyed at telling people that communities will solve everything, and I'm really annoyed at times just thinking it. In the presentation tomorrow, I'll explain how they'll change everything. Hive communities are going to be the most decentralized app on Steam. It leverages custom JSON operations combined with the social primitives to create derived yet deterministic state. It's completely open source and leverages only data that's on the blockchain, which means anybody can run their own Hive node and access independently verified state. The important factor here is that it's cross-platform, which means your communities are yours. You can take them between different front ends, and what's crucial about this is it prevents fragmentation of the network. It's going to serve to unite many different front ends, many different projects. And I think that's key. So, Steam as a platform is a lot of things. But the big picture means absolutely nothing to outsiders, which is like everybody outside of this room. And every blockchain is just trying to find the spark. All the technology is similar in a lot of ways. It's just a matter of how do you get it into people's hands and who's got the best approach to do that. So unlike other platforms, we have a built-in social networking game which has all the core elements of virality. It's a network for collaborating, sharing, and creating. And post payouts definitely help. So what's the spark? What we have is a tank of rocket fuel. We just need a match. It seems to me the key to a successful social network is just to have meaningful experience. My vision for Steemit is to have a home for everybody and a community for all. I want to see a breeding ground for thousands of communities and subcultures. And a lot of people think Steam is complicated, they think it's broken. But I think that the glaring issue is just the difficulty of finding your people and having a meaningful experience. So, of course, our users, when they come to the platform and they see this kind of chaos in front of them, they can't figure it out. And then they think, oh, it's about payouts. And that gets dark really fast. They think it's some sort of code they have to crack. They dedicate enormous amounts of effort to figure out how to win at this game. It's complicated, and it's the wrong game. One of the guiding principles with communities is to make Steam a social network which would be successful even without post payouts. If we can foster that, then payouts can take us to unprecedented heights. Payouts should be like pouring gasoline on a fire. So where's the spark? If you look at the issues we have today, it's going to be, it all ties back to engagement on our flagship game and really on our flagship UI. Steemit.com is a really important face for Steemit, and that's our greatest opportunity to show people what's possible. There's secondary concerns such as onboarding, and there's a lot of other concerns and issues people have, but really I consider those symptoms of a greater problem. And I'll be going into detail on that tomorrow. The aspects of engagement which need immediate attention are gamification, content discovery, and decentralized leadership. Communities tackles each of these head on. Tomorrow I explain how they tie everything together down to the incentives of holding Steam Power. The problem is not lack of users, lack of marketing, or missing blockchain features. The problem is our leaders lack the tools to organize, our curators lack the ability to discover good content, and our users lack meaningful engagement. Until now. Let's clear the slate and let's forget everything we think we know about Steam. So imagine this. At some point in the future, in the not too distant future, we have thousands of thriving communities. Many have formed microeconomies, business models. You meet a friend that you haven't seen in years. You go out to lunch. And she asks you, whatever happened to that Steam thing you were so obsessed with? And you say, let me show you. You send an invite to her email, and within a minute, she securely saved her keys and is looking at the welcome page on Steemit.com. What she doesn't know, or what she hasn't noticed yet, is that she's already following you and you follow her. Her feed is already populated with your cutting political commentary. But she's looking at the welcome page. It shows the top recommended communities, which also, it's going to inject some of the communities you subscribe to, because likely if you're bringing her on, there's some common ground. Within minutes, she's laughing. She's found a like-minded community of similar misfits. She's in. And notice, at no point did you cover how blockchain works. Just like people don't need to understand how an automatic transmission works to drive a car. If it gets you from point A to point B, you don't ask any questions. Our vehicle has a solid engine, communities as a steering wheel and a navigation system to get people where they want to go. That's the spark. I consider this a new beginning. Some people call it New Steam. I call it Steam Classic. Communities, SMTs, and new onboarding strategies lay the foundation to build the original dream for Steam. A vision hardcore Steamians never lost. So, if you want to hear more about it, I'm talking tomorrow at 10. And now I'd like to introduce Justin Welch, Steemit's head of engineering, the guy that runs the show.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, so Steemit admittedly has a rough history with shipping products and hitting deadlines. I think a lot of us in this room know that at this point. But I believe we really fixed that this year in a big way, and with a much leaner team than we previously had. So that's pretty amazing. This year, we were faced with a really interesting challenge. We needed to both reduce costs and get things shipped at the same time. And that's a difficult challenge with a small team. Luckily, we had a plan. And that plan was that some of the products, some of the foundational layers that we needed to get communities and SMTs shipped were also the things that we needed to reduce costs. Towards the beginning of this year, we officially released the first version of HiveMind, and that drastically reduced costs, but that's also the foundational layer for communities. And likewise, on the blockchain side of things, we released Mira, and Mira brings long-term sustainability to Steam. But that also drastically reduced costs. So those things kind of work hand in hand. So it's like a roadmap. Imagine that. So yeah, so we're really getting things done in the engineering department and much more efficiently than we have in the past. And I think it's really noticeable. We've brought a lot of organization and focus to the company as a whole, both inside and outside the engineering department. And that's really amazing to see. It's looking really great. So the number of fires that we're putting out today versus the number of fires that we were putting out 2 years ago is just like night and day. Things are chugging along smoothly, and honestly, it was a little difficult a couple years ago. And the reason for that is we're building things that people have never thought about building before. This is really a first, and Tim mentioned it too. That we actually are at a first mover disadvantage. Most people like to say first mover advantage, but that's not always true. Sometimes when doing things the first time, you're at a great disadvantage. But so we still believe that social media is what is going to make it possible to onboard the masses to cryptocurrencies as a whole. And that's really where it's at. That's where it starts. So Steem is so much more than Steemit. But in order to onboard the masses, I think you really need a compelling product that people really want to use. And that's what gets people in the door. That's what's going to get people onto the Steem blockchain. So I feel like that's really our job. That's our core mission. And so with communities and SMTs, I think that's really starting to come together. I think we're closer than ever to starting to have a compelling product that can actually onboard the masses and fulfill that original dream of bringing cryptocurrencies to the world. It's really exciting times. So with that, I'd like to pass it back over to the man who has to figure out how to talk about all this stuff for us, Andrew Levine. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, man. It's tough to follow these. So I'm our head of communications. And as some of you may know, I actually started on Steem before I started at SteemFest as just a content creator. And I was hired to be the community liaison. And even though I went on to, get the title of content director and now head of communications, I've never really seen my role as changing at any point in this. I think what really changed was that as time went on, the organization just realized the importance of the community. I hope what you all are going to see, what you all see today, and what you'll see when Roadscape and Vandenberg and Turbino present, is just what an amazing group of people we have here. And I've always the potential I always saw was we have this amazing community and we have this amazing team of community members. And for some reason, there was always this barrier between SteemFest and the community when really so many of us started as community members. And breaking down that wall has been, I think, my personal mission since I first started. And we've talked a lot about first mover disadvantage, and that's one of the ways it materialized in my life. We were spending so much time putting out fires and, creating new fires by trying to keep moving faster and keep taking advantage of this first mover advantage. And it just led to us segregating ourselves more and distancing ourselves more from from our secret weapon, which is the community. And I think the upside of the difficulties that we've faced is that it's forced us to embrace the community. I think that's part of how we've managed to deliver on time and start shipping on time, is by bringing the community closer into what we're doing. I know Tim's used a number of community members to help accelerate the development of communities, and people like Inertia and Gandalf, Blockchain Studio, Quochi, Huoshai, these community members have just been hugely impactful in our turnaround. And I think that's only going to continue to be the case. We want even more participation. We want even a closer link. A lot of, since we announced communities now a long time ago, the idea of community has become all the rage, in corporate America, massive corporations acting like they're all about community. Even Vitalik Buterin, granted not corporate America, is starting to talk about the importance of community, and it's because people are starting to realize that it doesn't matter how great your technology is or how great your product is. If people don't use it, it's not worth anything. But I think it's very fair to say that we've always put our money where our mouth is, literally, right? Right out of the gate, the Steem blockchain launches, by handing over control over 90% of its token inflation to the community, who uses their votes to distribute the core token. And to this day, I don't know of another major blockchain platform that delegates that amount of power over token inflation to everyone. And now, where, thanks to the work of Tim, we're using this technology pioneered by Bitcoin to enable the ownership of digital assets. And for the first time in history, we're using it to enable ownership over an online community. And I think you can't really understate how revolutionary that is. Like, before communities, before hive mind communities, you couldn't own an online community. But now you can. And granted, people don't realize it yet. This is why it's so important to develop user interfaces, and this gets to the importance of Steemit.com, because it's this visual representation of what you can do with this technology. And now that SMTs are on testnet, right, that's the first major step towards enabling anyone to create their own cryptocurrency or their own community token, their own business token. And with the wizard, right, so SMTs increase the ease of launching a cryptocurrency by an order of magnitude, right? It's going to be 10 times easier to launch a cryptocurrency because of SMTs alone. But the configurator, which Steve developed in 2 weeks with the help of some cool templates, is going to increase the ease of launching a cryptocurrency by another order of magnitude, because anybody is going to be able to use the configurator. And that really speaks to the importance of Steem being designed from the ground up to power web applications. Because you couldn't do that on another blockchain. You couldn't build this wizard as rapidly as he did and create that level of value in that short amount of time. And ultimately, it's all with the aim of empowering our community members to take maximum advantage of this technology. Anyway, now let's, why don't we open it up to the question and answer? And you guys can, it's all about you. And we want, right, it's all about the community. And so we want to hear your thoughts on this. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? I mean, please turn it into a question format, but we're here to listen. So how do we want to do the question process? 20 minutes. Oh yeah, and could we get Steve and Christy up here? I mean, Steve and Christy are critical to this organization. Christy is our head of human resources. We would not be here. She is just invaluable. Yeah, and Steve is, the other part of our blockchain team, and yeah, just. Do we have that thing? Okay.
Awkward.
So yeah. So how do we want to do questions? There's a microphone over there.
Testing. Is this on?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you all so much for being here. This is really exciting to see you all again. I've talked to many of you in person and at events. Eli, Elizabeth, we were on one of the radio shows a while back, and we talked about the challenge of the branding of Steemit Incorporated, Steemit.com, Steem the token, Steem the blockchain, all these different pieces. And it was great to hear you acknowledge that's been a really big challenge, and that's something you've recognized as a team to work through. And I'm wondering, has there been any newer developments with that within your team as far as the branding of Steemit Incorporated, Steemit.com, like all the complexities? I mean, the story you told of someone just getting an email and being onboarded maybe solves a lot of that, potentially. But just curious about that, just as far as the branding and the naming of things to help our community better explain what it is that we're all doing. Thank you.
That's a great question. And yes, I mean, it's a hot mess, the branding situation. something that we all inherited. So there have been some interesting discussions. Some ideas include rebranding Steemit Inc. We could go to Blockchain 123, and it doesn't matter. No one really cares about the name Steemit Inc. That could help solve a lot of problems. But to be perfectly honest, we haven't gotten there yet. We know it is an issue, and the thing for me, the bigger challenge is we have these great products. We need to market, we need to tell people. So what is the point in doing all this hard work if we can't tell the world? So this is our team right here. We're very lean, we're very mean, and so my hope and vision is to reach out to the community and start soliciting marketing ideas. We have the DAO now, so maybe there's going to be some marketing proposals. I see that being a huge part of the future. So to answer your question, no solution at this point, but we have talked about one very simple way, would just rename Steemit Inc. Again, that is a very simple solution, but Steemit.com and Steem, the blockchain, one of the things that we do have as an asset is name awareness. People do know the brand, and we haven't done anything really to promote that from a true marketing perspective. We were about to. We had some, so we do have strategies in place. We just need help executing. So that is a top priority. Thank you for the question.
I'm Sharon at Fit and Fun, and I'm asking two questions. First of all, can HiveMind have 10 tags or 12 tags instead of 5 ASAP? And second, can Steemit start voting on people's posts like Dpol, eSteem, Busy? When you make a post with them, you're going to get a vote value back. They're just going to either automatically vote your post, or they're going to run through and check it first or whitelist you. At this point in time, I'm always talking to minnows, always helping them, and the first thing I tell them to start making some SP is not to post on Steemit. Because when they post on Steemit, they don't get any money. When they post on eSteem, they get 45 cents. When they post on Busy, 10 cents. I'm not asking for hundreds of dollars on every post, but if you can give something to the minnows, that would be very, very helpful, the newest people, because it's great when you get that OCD vote on your first intro post, but then you get 0 for months on end. So the HiveMind tags and voting posts, and then I'll be on board. Thank you.
Thank you. So with regards to the first question about tags, can HiveMind index more tags right away? Yes. But it's also important to understand why. What is the use case that we're trying to solve? And one of the issues with tags is they're the only organizational system we have. But for most of what they're used for, they're much more effective tools. I think that communities will, for a lot of use cases, replace the need altogether. Let's talk about that. But if the main reason for using 10 tags is to be eligible to earn 10 different tokens using for tribes or Steem Engine, then we can build something that's actually going to be able to let you do that more efficiently. But every tag on a post adds overhead, and the point of HiveMind is to be as simple and solid as possible because it's replacing a lot of Steemd functionality. So in order for it to scale, we have to make sure it's working very efficiently. With regards to the other question about distributing votes, I think that we need to partially reimagine how voting works. And a lot of that has to do with better content discovery. because right now it's really difficult. I think right now so many votes are blind, so content is voted on automatically or just say through rented SteemFest. So because the issues we've been facing for a long time now, months, years. So it's really tempting to try to solve problems using existing tools to work around existing issues we're facing today. And at the talk I give tomorrow morning, that's going to be an opportunity to reimagine how we can solve those problems using better tools that are maybe hard to picture at the moment.
Yeah, it's weird because HiveMind it's really almost starting over again, and so you can't, right, like when people are thinking about the problems that they see, they're trying to solve them using the existing problems. And HiveMind is about new solutions. The only thing I want to add to that is just that, you know, we created an open delegation application process, which really opened up the process of applying for delegations. And we created a delegation committee that consists of 3 independent community members, many of whom are here today, and they apply a rigorous standard to the application process. And I think that if there are ways of leveraging Steemit Inc.'s stake to vote on posts, that's a much more decentralized way of doing it. And there are a number of projects that I believe are getting delegations through this process. And so that's 18 million Steam power that's basically been handed over to the community. And that process is going, I've been very impressed with how that process is going and how the committee is running that process. And of course, the ultimate goal is to bring more people into that process. The committee shares that goal, we share that goal. We want to expand the influence of community members on that process, but we have to start somewhere. And the 3 people who are leading that effort, you know, I couldn't be happier with how they're doing that, and I think that that's a good way of solving that problem. When people want Steemit Inc. to get involved, right, like, we want to stay focused on the solutions that are going to solve the widest range of problems, and we want to ship. We want to deliver on time. We don't like missing deadlines, and you know, like, that wasn't fun. So, yeah. Next question.
Hey guys, I'm BitRocker 2020. First of all, welcome Steem Inc. Welcome to Asia. As you can see, that the potential of developers around Asia, Southeast Asia is a lot. My question is one, what are your initiatives? Are you planning to onboard more developers especially from this part of the world? Because I mean, there are tons of them around Asia itself. And my second question is, CoinGecko is here. It still sees that Steemit.com still shows CoinMarketCap. I think, are you going to plan to change to CoinGecko's one instead? Thank you for your time. Thanks.
Well, I'll speak to the CoinGecko thing. We're very close with that team. We love that team, and honestly, we haven't really talked about changing that thing. I mean, I'm sure we'd be happy to do it. I think that there's way better ways that we can be collaborating with that team, and we're happy to do it because we think that they're really genuine. They're really trying to deliver a superior product to the space, and they're trying to add more transparency to the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So we're happy to collaborate with them however they want. Does anybody have an answer to the question of how we're trying to onboard Asian developers? Okay.
Yeah, so as far as onboarding developers, I think what we need to onboard more developers from any part of the world, not just Asia. I know that was the direct question, is how do you onboard developers from Asia? Well, I think it's the same anywhere in the world, and that's with solid developer tools. And again, that's something we admittedly haven't done as great of a job as we probably could have, but our focus has turned around with that. One thing, for example, like, and Michael's going to talk about this more this afternoon, so you should definitely come see this, but for SMTs, we actually have already updated Steam.js, the most common JavaScript library, to support SMTs in full. And that's already published and on NPM like today. We do need to do some documentation with that. But that's an example of creating solid developer tools. And I think it doesn't stop there. It's something we need to just continue to keep up with as time goes on. So next question.
Howdy.
I just wanted to add to that the ability to have easier to use APIs, to have data accessible that's easier to work against. That's a priority for HiveMind. But in addition, as Justin said, making SteamD easier to run.
I just wanted to shout out to CoinGecko too, because I know they're here representing, and that's great. And you guys are awesome. CoinMarketCap is not actually making posts on Steemit. CoinGecko is. They're also a witness. They have a witness campaign. And they even, for Hard Fork 21/22, they even put a header across the top of CoinGecko pointing people to it, talking about the economic changes that were coming. So we really, really appreciate that too. So thanks for that. As far as using data from their public API instead of CoinMarketCap, yes, we'd love to do that. I think we said that once in the past. But just like anything else, that's a great idea. Like, we get tons of great ideas every day. They just fly at us and they're all awesome. But we always have to focus on whatever is the single most important thing at the time, like what has the most value. And as we've said too here today, we're a pretty lean team. So we can only do so many things at once. With that being said, if anyone wants to make a pull request to to support CoinGecko's API instead of CoinMarketCap, we'd be happy to go ahead and get that approved. And if not, we will be more than happy to do that ourselves as soon as we have time to do so. So again, thanks CoinGecko. You guys are great. All right, next question for real now.
Howdy, y'all. So I got to say, post Hard Fork 21, I'm really pleased at the direction we're going. In the past, I was a little bit of a skeptic with the economics, but I see that we're kind of we're reimagining voting and kind of putting the vote selling model to the side and kind of pursuing more honest curation, which I'm very pleased with. But one of the looming fears that I have is, what if someone, and I don't want to give anyone an idea now, starts doing off-chain vote selling? First of all, what is Steemit Inc.'s stance on the vote selling? And two, what will we do if that sort of thing becomes prevalent? I'm just kind of concerned about the collusive voting arrangements, the under the table stuff, because we've been making great strides with the free downvotes moderation. It's been great. I'm just concerned if someone's going to see that opportunity to capitalize on off-chain vote selling, what are we going to do about that? And is Steemit Inc., are they neutral? What's their stance?
I'll let Michael take that one.
So I think we continue doing what we've always done, and that is we look at what the current economics are and ask ourselves, why is the rule set that is existing not working the way we want it to? And with the EIP, we identified 3 areas that we think we needed to change in order to affect behavior. And so if the vote selling becomes a problem again, we just go back to the drawing board and say, so why is it still happening? And we'd make further changes. I propose it to the community and get feedback. As far as what specifically we would do, I can't answer that until I see it happening. But if I mean, if we need to iterate again, we'll iterate again and begin that community discussion. I think that's kind of always been our philosophy, and that we're trying to hit a moving target, and having you guys out there and seeing what's going on and bringing it to our attention is one of the best tools we have.
Part of what makes this game so fun is that it's not perfect. That there's always something to fix. There's always something to improve. And, but there's always a solution too. And so when problems arise, that's an opportunity to find a solution that's going to add more value to the ecosystem. Because the more problems we encounter and the more solutions we generate, the more valuable this whole thing becomes. So like, it's good to be looking out for problems, and we want to hear people's feedback on the problems they're experiencing. But we don't want to get rid of problems, because that's the source of value. That's where the opportunity is too.
And just to add, I think the user interface needs to. There's a lot of opportunity to incentivize honest voting through the UI. The UI is not conducive to that right now.
Next question.
네, 안녕하세요. 나는 한국에서 온 천원이라고 하는 사람입니다. 여러분들을 만나게 되어서 매우 반갑고 기쁩니다. 이런 자리를 마련해준 재단과 행사 관계자 여러분들에게 감사드립니다. 뉴스팀의 출범을 축하드립니다. 관심 가는 게 많으나 시간 관계상 한 가지만 질문을 드리고자 합니다. 내 이야기는 우리 친구가 번역을 해줄 겁니다.
So I'm from Korea, and my name is Chonun in Korean name. And first of all, we want to give heartily thanks to Steam Foundation, and then especially for Laurent to prepare this SteemFest in Bangkok this year. And we are welcome for the new Steam system. And then we have some critical issue, and then I want to question just one for Steam Foundation.
스팀의 발전을 위해서는 훌륭한 그 스팀의 시스템과 그 여러 개발자들의 노력의 산물인 그 도구를 이용하여서 많은 사용자들이 여러 부분에서 응용하고 실험적으로 도전하여 훌륭한 그 스팀의 우월성을 입증해야 되는데, 그러나 무분별한 그 다운보팅으로 인하여 가지고 여러 가지 문제가 발생하고 있습니다. 여기까지만 하고 또.
For develop and improve the Steam, we need some results from the developers, and then Steam Foundation for the users, and then user need that result actually. But nowadays we face a downvoting issue, and then it become a serious issue in Korea community actually.
내 생각에는 다운보팅이 근본적으로 없어져야 되고, 상대적으로 스팀 발전을 위하여 노력하는 계정에게 오히려 상을 주어야 된다고 생각을 합니다. 그러나 현실은 어떠냐 하면 막대한 스팀 파워를 가진 계정이 무분별하게 다운보팅을 하고 다닙니다. 그런데 그 다운보팅을 하는 계정을 알고 보니 프리덤이라고 하는 계정에서 막대한 스파를 임대를 해서 그 계정으로 다운보팅을 하고 있다고 합니다. 있습니다. 보니까 이런 문제가 있는데, 이거는 분명히 문제가 많다고 봅니다. 그래서 다운보팅은 스팀 발전을 위해서 분명하게 이야기하는데 사라져야 된다고 보고, 그런 부분에 대해서 재단이나 관계자분들은 어떻게 생각하시는지 질문드립니다.
Sometimes we found downvoting without any serious reason actually, and then we think is not helpful for future of the Steam blockchain. And then one case, we found one account, he downvoting with the delegate power from Freedom. We are not sure the Freedom belongs to and from Steam Foundation or not. Anyway, we don't understand, and then we think downvoting is not helpful for future of the Steam anymore. So we want to ask you, how do you, Steam Foundation, think about the downvoting issue currently nowadays?
Okay, just to clarify, just to clarify one thing, we're SteemIt Incorporated. We're a private corporation. We're not the Steam Foundation. There is an entity called the Steam Foundation. It's fairly new. One potential topic of conversation that we can have here is the idea of outsourcing proof of brain to new smart media tokens. And eventually, you know, removing proof of brain from Steam altogether. I doubt anyone here is going to be willing to get rid of downvotes. Do you want to talk about downvotes?
So removing downvotes is something we've considered in the past. The reason why they still exist is when content that is obviously plagiarized or, you know, inappropriate, or whatever your criteria is for not deserving of rewards, you know, people want to do something about it. They don't like seeing content get rewarded when it shouldn't. And so it's primarily a question of philosophy. There are certain things we could do to help, you know, essentially, if you view it as, well, they got an upvote, like that's rewards lost to whoever, that's okay, then you could get by without it. But I think as a whole, people want to, you know, there is a lot of people that want to be, you know, policing that community or that content and making sure that only content that is deserving is being rewarded. So I would say it's something we've discussed internally before, several times over the past years, and it never quite felt like the right move. Conversations with the community, just no one's felt really good about it. But that's certainly a conversation we are willing to have. And I think one of the selling points of SMTs is you can choose not to have downvotes on SMTs. And so we expect that some maybe strange combinations of parameters are going to be launching, like there are going to be SMTs that look very strange compared to Steam. And we may be pleasantly surprised that those parameterizations work much better than we anticipate. And if they do, we're not above stealing those back into Steam. And I think it'll be a way for the community to iterate with their SMTs, and will actually help us get to the sort of ideal version of Steam much faster than us turning one knob at a time and, you know, letting things happen and seeing where everything falls. Next question.
Yes, last question. First of all, thank you everyone for being here. My username is @CryptoSpa, and I am very active user of Actifit and DTube. And what bothers me is that Actifit doesn't have your delegation, and DTube may lose its delegation very soon. And it looks to me like certain group of people decides who gets the delegations to these communities and applications. And my question is if we think that we're a decentralized community, why we don't create some kind of mechanism by which all of us can vote for the communities who will get the delegation, instead of you just certain a group of people delegating to people deciding who will get the delegation. That's my.
So the delegation committee and the delegation application process is the first time we've had a process. Before that, it was just SteemIt deciding who it wanted to give delegations to. Like everything we do, it's not a final product, right? We want to make it better. We want to make it more decentralized. But in our experience, when people try to launch fully decentralized solutions, it's just a way of saying, I'm never going to launch a solution, right? Like, how many projects out there have said, I'm gonna make this magical decentralized solution to this really, really difficult problem, and then they never ship. And so we've always erred on the side of, let's ship something that's better, as opposed to infinitely, trying to develop new stuff, ship a new white paper. And so, we've got 3 well-respected community members who you can talk to, you can make suggestions. If you have a better process in your mind, then you should talk about it on steemit.com, make it public. If there's a better process out there, we want it implemented, and we'd be happy to use our influence to make sure that more decentralized, more fair, more transparent system gets put into place. But this is the best that we could come up with, and these are this is the best starting point that we could come up with, and yeah, just work with us to make it better.
Yeah, I think the main thing with the delegation process is that there was no process. And what it turned into was more of a political play than anything that usually ended up making us look bad or other projects look bad. There's a ton of abuse with delegations out there. And so this to us was our first attempt to A, create a process, B, make it as fair as possible. This was the first round of applications. I think what we'll do is reconvene with the committee and see what went well, what didn't go well. And so we welcome everyone to provide thoughts and input, but we really had to, for us as a team, we don't have time to review these applications. There's so many wonderful ideas. Trust me, I wish we could give every great project a delegation, but for the first time we're making projects. Be accountable. What's your business plan? What are you going to do to help the STEAM ecosystem? How are you going to provide value with this delegation? That has never been done before. So again, first step, first time doing this. Definitely want to thank the committee because it was a lot of work. They put together a legit process. So we will continue to monitor, get feedback, and just continue to iterate that. So thank you for the question.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I think we got to get off. Roland, you want us to get off the stage? All right, he wants us off. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for SteemIt Incorporated. Thanks a lot, guys, for being here. Kabkum Kab. Thanks. They'll be around. In the afternoon, we have one the tech dive with Vandenberg and Justin. No, with Bino, right? And tomorrow, Tim Roadscape will also do a presentation, so they'll be here. I hope they're also going to form a bowling team, or maybe 2. Are you? So only 15 minutes delay, which is nice. Which great people. I'm sounding a little bit too much like, no, forget about it. At 12, we will start serving lunch. But for now, I would like to invite on the stage the man himself, Minnow Support, Splinterlands, Steam Engine, whatnot. Edward, thanks a lot for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
For the second year. There is a clicker, or did Andraki steal it? Or did he leave it in the chair?
No, it's right
That's here. Okay. Okay, enjoy. The floor is yours.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's wonderful to be out in Thailand with so many wonderful people. You're all lovely people. Hopefully you guys will recognize that phrase. All right, so the talk that I'm here to give today is upwards growth in a downward market. And this is all about Splinterlands growing in what is ultimately like the worst business conditions you could possibly imagine. All right, so hopefully I won't even play. So where this stuff, to us, one of the main things about just why crypto? Why are we even doing this? Not that long ago, this is Blitzchung. He doesn't look very threatening in this. He just finished a match working for Blizzard and playing in a Hearthstone tournament. And the commentators switched over to him to go say, give us some commentary about your game. And in a relatively jovial, not like a military style, he just says something to the effect of, "Liberate Hong Kong." And he's doing this, and it didn't go so well for him. The consequence of doing that was that Blizzard immediately banned him. I think they banned him permanently, although they walked that back to something like 6 months. And in addition to that, they stripped his entire prize pool. So to me, this really starts illustrating why do we need blockchain, right? Like even for something like gaming, you don't actually own your assets. The things that you think you own, you don't actually own them. And of course, Blizzard then has been in a ton of hot water because their entire player community has been extremely upset with them for this. So one of my takeaways from this is that if you don't own the keys, you don't own the asset. And that while we're onboarding people to Steam and we're bringing them to blockchain and people are losing passwords and like there's some awkwardness there, I can't underscore how important this very fundamental concept is. If all you have is a password, it means somebody else owns your stuff and they let you use it. And so this to me is one of the great ways that we can integrate blockchains with card games. Because now this is a digital asset that you can truly own. Splinterlands can't just run around and take your cards or take your stuff. You are the one with the keys. You're the one that posts it to the blockchain. You're the one that does that. And I think that's a very different mentality. So that's how this thing got started. And you'll notice this is actually written in Korean here. I have a couple of the different Korean translations. But we've been doing that. Our goal is to try to bring as many different players from as many different areas as possible. And so some of that just starts with making it really easy for all of these different communities to interact with us because we have the game in their language. Now, Splinterlands itself has done, I can't complain. Some things are pretty amazing here. So we're currently going into our next edition. So this is the Untamed pack. Well, we sold out of the alpha packs, we sold out of the beta packs, and we're now transitioning. We have a couple of these orbs, which are kind of like a specialty pack, but we've already sold out of 2 editions. And to me, like I wake up nearly every day and think, my God, this is amazing. Like crypto itself has gone, or like all the altcoins, I'll show a slide in a second, they've really been hit hard, and yet Splinterlands is still standing, and it just keeps growing. And part of that is because of this marketplace that we have. We have a really decentralized market. This is just from a couple days ago. We had over 4,000, or around 4,000 sales for over $3,300, and that's not our company selling cards to people. That's players trading cards back and forth. And again, that goes back to they're the ones that own it. They work through this decentralized exchange. They don't even need us to be involved. There's already third-party applications that are doing that have built their own DEXs, and I've heard of a few more that are thinking of coming online. But now you can start trading these things, and the ease with which you can sort of move these cards back and forth, I think is actually one of the major components of our game that's been so striking. So on top of that, we built a really good battle system. right? So we have a season, and a season lasts for about 2 weeks. And so you'll get rewards cards at the end of a season. We have daily quests. So every single day that you're playing, you can earn more cards that way. And there's a whole league system. So, there's different rules with every single match. There's different mana caps. And then there's different leagues so that players are fighting against opponents that are comparable to the level of cards and level of skill that they have. And we've been able to go do tournaments with this game. To date, we've given out $66,000 in prizes to our players. And, this is directly facilitated because we're built on a blockchain. If I wanted to try to get micro US dollar payments to all of my players, that's actually pretty tricky. But doing this with crypto is as simple as automating transfers to an account name. So especially on Steam, where your account name is aggroed, as opposed to like E162943, there's so much about the Steam blockchain that underpins what we're doing that makes doing things like awarding $66,000 to our players easy, quick, and it's been explosive for the growth that we've been seeing here. So one of the other developments we've recently put in are guilds. So we're helping our players aggregate socially. They can go interact. They get discounts in the shop. They earn more cryptocurrency by being in the guilds, and we have other features that are coming. And ultimately, it's some of these combinations of we have the working market, we have the working battles, we have a guild system. But if I had to pinpoint something recently that has really catapulted our growth, without any doubt to me, it's dark energy crystals. So kind of a quick story here, because I think I have a minute or two. I've been involved in a couple different projects, and behind all of them, or partnering with me on all of them, are Yabamat. And he's the dev behind a lot of the brilliance here. And so Apex was a team that wanted SMTs so badly, and they were getting really frustrated, and they were saying, we're going to leave, we can't wait, this is impossible, we can't tolerate it. And that was actually a lot of the impetus behind us with Steam Engine saying, oh, you know what, we can go help you. We can get these tribes moving immediately. And we saw that when you build a reward and you reward the people that are using your system, just how much that can help your growth, how much that can help the players. And I think Matt must have had a eureka moment where he was dozing off and then woke up and was like, I know what we have to do. And in that very brief moment, I think he visualized, how do we reward our players? And how do we do this in a way that's sustainable, that helps grow this game, but that ultimately pays our players to play the game? And we came up with the dark energy crystals. And as soon as they launched, it's been a ton of growth for us. And the last sort of key component to our we have a product roadmap, and now we can get to our marketing roadmap. The last thing that's really holding us back from what are we going to do to market the hell out of this game is you need a mobile. Most of the world doesn't sit down for desktop gaming. Most of the world is on mobile gaming. And so we're anticipating this should be out by the end of the year. So that to us, we wanted free-to-play accounts and we wanted this mobile app. Those are really the last two technical hurdles we have before we start getting a lot more aggressive. But even without them, without spending almost a dime on marketing outside of the tournaments, this is what we've been seeing in terms of how the people are interacting with our market. So this is right around when the dark energy crystals got introduced. And you can see that when you have a functioning reward system, it can catapult your growth very heavily. So we're really excited by the number of people transacting and how much money is going back and forth. It makes our cards a lot more liquid. But my number one thing that I look at is how many people are participating in this ecosystem. And so we were down at our lows, I don't know, It could be as few as 1,500 people or so. And just in the last 4 or 5 months, we're trending around 3,000 players daily. And then on top of that, especially you can see the sharp purple spikes. That's at the end of our seasons. And you can see we get over 3,600 people that are interacting on a daily basis with our game. And in normal games, that's not all that big. Call of Duty would laugh at that. That would be like one town might produce that. But in crypto, this is enormous. This makes us one of the most popular games in the entire ecosystem. And so we're grateful to the players that we have. And all of that combined, what I've started with is showing you, here are some of the products that we have, or here's the way you can use the game. Here's the transactions and the number of people. And ultimately, that's getting reflected in the price of all the cards. So this bottom chart, this is the alt cap market. So this is all the people that are just trading back and forth with altcoins. And it's been pretty flat over, I think this is about a year now. I tried to match the timelines between these two. But over here at sort of our low point, you could see we were down at around $1 million for the total market cap of all of our cards. I know it's a little small, but we've actually hit $4 million in card value. So it puts us in, like, if we were our own cryptocurrency, we'd already be in the top 500. And we've only been around for like, I don't know, a year and a half or something. So to me, when the difference, the striking difference to me is that we've been in this horrible bear market, 2 years. Almost the entire time that we've existed, the price of all the altcoins have been going down and drastically. And yet, even so, even in this horrible market, we've been able to go take our token and quadruple the value of it for the players and the people that are participating in our ecosystem. And numbers don't lie. I mean, that to me, you can't fake that. That's the growth. That's people buying cards, participating in our ecosystem, and that is really representing the overall growth of the game. So when I give presentations and when I talk, I'm ultimately looking for 3 different groups of people. We're looking for players, and for that we end up giving a lot of free starter codes. I have some physical cards I could give people so that they can get their starter packs for free when they come to events like this. We look for people that want to hodl the cards. So right now we have a Kickstarter. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And we also offer deals to people that end up spending a fair amount of money on cards. And just to talk about that number, it's staggering to me. Most people don't think I'm going to go spend thousands of dollars on a card game. That's hard. It's hard for a lot of people to understand that. But again, when the players themselves are seeing how they can earn by playing, and they can earn even just renting cards, that's something pretty revolutionary that we do. It ends up changing the mindset of not just thinking of this as just a game, but really it's a whole economic system. And of course, we're looking for investors that like to go participate with us too. So, like I said, we're now in our the third series that we're launching. We sold out of alpha, we sold out of beta, and now we're going into the Untamed series. The Untamed series actually features something that I think is going to generate a ton of FOMO. There's 14 different airdrops along the way. So if you get in early, you are going to be eligible for all the airdrops of the cards that we'll do. And if you wait to go purchase these cards, you'll continuously miss out on the number of airdrops. But if you don't have an account and you would like one, I have cards that I can hand you. You would click on that shop button, you would click on this code button, and then you can input that code and you can have a free account. Now, this slide is a little outdated already, but the Kickstarter that we're doing right now, we're doing it through Kickstarter, we're doing it through Fundition, and then we've also taken some Bitcoin in. And the total amount of money that we've raised so far is $255,000 just in this about a 1 month period where we're trying to raise money for this. Yeah, it's great, right? It's a ton. Coincidentally, there was an Ethereum game raising money on Kickstarter at the same time that wasn't able to actually close the round. So here we are. Our goal was only $25,000, and we're over 10x the goal of what we were searching for with this. And just to go see this reaction, it's been staggering to me, just the number of people that want to own their assets, that want to earn with the things that they own, and that just love a fun game. Our game is fun, you know. It's a brainy thing, and the people that love crypto love this kind of brainy game. So this is actually closing today. I wanted to have the final close when I could go talk to the audience and let them know, hey, this Kickstarter's live. This is literally your last chance to get in this. And actually, we got caught a little bit because we were only thinking, look, this will be a small one. The market's way down. We're not expecting this to be massive. We were a little bit behind. And so I think this is actually one of the best deals that our company will offer, like ever. So for people that are thinking about getting involved, this is a phenomenal time. You would think that the fact that we're already 3 editions in might make you like you were late to adopt or something. But after I gave this presentation, I was just in Seoul a couple days ago, and I gave this presentation to an audience in Seoul, and literally the entire audience stood up at the end of my talk, mobbed my table, like we're shoving and pushing to try to get that last starter pack code so that they could start, and to just see how an audience can really react to this when like we find the right people, when we find the traction, the folks that love crypto and the folks that love gaming, and when they get their eyes on this and they can understand, I own my assets, I have unparalleled access to information, and I can earn crypto the whole way through this reward system that we've set up. We got mobbed, and it changed my mindset from this is a way that I'm going to make a living, to thinking, I think I'm sitting at the top of a future $1 billion per year business. This thing is going to go ballistic. And we're really in a good position now to be able to do this. So what I think will end up happening is that we can really start helping Steem. We've been playing, and we've certainly kept a lot of people here, but we haven't personally been responsible for growing the hell out of Steem yet. But I think that's the next phase of our evolution. It took us a while to build up some money so that we have a little runway for the company in case we have a bad month or something. So now we have a little bit of a war chest so that we're feeling a little bit better. But now, as of like 2 weeks from now, we'll have $250,000 that's going to come in. And my personal goal for that is to see a lot of that go into marketing our game. And of course, when we market our game, we don't just market Splinterlands, we are marketing the entire Steem ecosystem, because everybody that has a Splinterlands account has a Steem account. And so as we start doing advertising, I really think we'll have the chance to bring in gamers, and especially gamers from this part of the world, because frankly, I haven't seen a reaction to our crypto game as strong as I have while I've been out in this part of the world. Another part of this too, not just the advertising and bringing people in, but you know, every single action on our game, you are posting to the blockchain. And that's different from a lot of the other games. You know, Gods Unchained gets a lot of press. They have some neat things, but ultimately they have a centralized game and their assets are on the Ethereum blockchain. But you don't play the game on the Ethereum blockchain. We've seen what happens when you try to play games on the Ethereum blockchain. It doesn't work so well. But everything you do in Splinterlands is on the chain, and all of those things require resource credits, and that's requiring all of our players to power up. So every single time that you see people playing and trading and interacting, that's helping to support the price of Steem. This isn't just, you know, filling our coffers. This is helping to support everybody that's in this room. And lastly, you know, I really think we have the ability to start forming partnerships in a bigger way. Now that we can focus on growing, you know, we can try to grow one person at a time, but it's way better if you can grow one team at a time. So whether it's working with the SCT team, whether it's working with some of the exchanges that are out there, some of the wallets that are out there, I really see us having the ability to go work with companies that have already got a group of people together, and we can form these partnerships. I can give them cards, I can give them starter codes, I can help them host events just for their specific players, so they generate promotion using our assets and our money, and that can really help gather everybody to help not only us grow, but them grow. So there's a fair exchange in that. And I think that it really presents us with a unique opportunity to, this Kickstarter is gonna close, we're gonna get a whole influx of cash, and with that, I think we're finally, especially with the mobile app coming out, we're really gonna be in a position to start pumping Splinterlands into your traditional media. So that I'm really looking forward to YouTube ads, to Twitter ads, to Facebook ads, and hopefully anybody that's looking for crypto gaming, they're gonna run into Splinterlands, they're gonna join our game, and they're gonna be part of our Steam family. And I think we're really set to grow. So will this play? No, it won't. But this should be the Untamed logo, but Untamed is coming out. I'd really welcome all of you to participate. Literally the single best deal that we have offered. It's going on for the next 24 hours and then it's done. But that's Splinterlands, and hopefully you're seeing the growth. Hopefully you're seeing the people that are on here, and once this thing closes and our mobile app is out, that's when we start going crazy. So it's still early for us, and hopefully you're gonna go join the ride with us. So thanks, guys. Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Sweaty hands.
Okay, here.
Sweaty pants. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
See you tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm doing a talk that's about Steam Engine tomorrow.
Right.
So if you have questions about what is that going to look like, how are we going to grow on that side of things, that entire project discussion is meant for tomorrow.
Yeah. And did you already join a bowling team?
I have not joined a bowling team.
Guys, I heard it through the grapevine.
No,
He's a great bowler.
I'm a terrible bowler.
Oh,
I'm a
that's
terrible
it,
bowler.
that's it.
No.
Hey, we kept up this.
A personal flaw. I just throw.
He's a great bowling coach if you're looking for one.
Okay.
Thank you, Agro.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for setting this up.
Yo. How are you doing? There's some soft drinks being served, local soft drinks, and lunch will be served after Dimitri's presentation. Dimitri set up the website steamproposals.com, which is an interface to the recently very flawless launched upgrade to our beloved blockchain with the proposals. And he will tell a bit more about the Steam proposal system. And if you have any questions, he's here to answer them for you. Dimitri, please come on the stage and welcome to Bangkok. This is your clicker.
Okay. Alright, guys. So before we start, I actually want to know who actually knows what Steam proposal system is. All right, so a lot. Okay, so in which direction should I go, like deeper, which way should I go? Because like I have a lot of basic stuff, and then I can go deeper on very specific parts. So like which one? Because like, okay, we'll see. Okay, so I'm not sure if you know me or not. So here's like a little bit about me. I've been working with Steam since 2016. I had different account actually. I was managing my mom's account, then my own account, then just posting and curating stuff. And then was working with Dash, and that led me towards Paytomat, where I was working for almost like 3 years or so. And this year was really all about Steam for me. So I became a Steam witness, and I decided to figure out how this infrastructure works and like see how can I benefit the ecosystem in general.
So I launched 3 products actually. The first one was Steam Insights, but I decided that's not a really good, that's not the best app that I've ever made. So I went with the Steam Apps DB. That was the second one actually. It's kind of like an explorer for Steam-based applications. You can literally see all of the, in every single block, you can select different transactions that are going through each of the apps, which is really cool. Yeah, and so Steam Proposals, which was the main one that I'm actually focusing on right now, and I tried to build some new features which will come out next month, but I'm gonna need a lot of feedback from you guys to deliver those features right and deliver the right features. Okay, so in general, SPS or Steam Proposal System, it's nothing but having an idea or finding a need in Steam and just fulfilling this idea with the skill or the background that matches with this need. And this is actually what a proposal is, and this is what the Steam Proposal System is all about. You're basically finding out like what is actually people need right now. Like, do they need like documentation, or do they need, I know, sales support in very specific region, or do they need like a marketing team or PR or like whatever they need, right? You just figure this part, and then you just create a proposal, and that's it. So we go through some basic concepts. The first is that all of the budget goes to Steam.DAO account, and 1/100 of overall budget is going to daily budget. And this is this part that actually kind of confusing. So the payouts are going every single hour, and I actually believe this is not a very good thing. Yeah, but because it's very easy to lose your votes, because sometimes you can start to making some proposal, like doing something actually, right? And then you figure out that, this is not really working, or, the part that I actually concerned with is that at some point, if you get a partial funding, like for 1 week or 2 weeks, but your overall proposal is for 2 months or 3 months, then in this case, what you end up with is partial done work and partial funding for developers especially. This is not really good. If you have a really solid team and you have fixed costs for sales, for development, for anything that is really fixed, you have to pay it out every single month. This is not possible to make it in this way. So I really believe we should try to figure out a way for budgeting to go from hourly basis to monthly basis, or at least like weekly or something like more stable. Yeah, and there is this concept called return proposal, which is something that kind of works like a threshold that you have to pass in order to start receiving funding. So as soon as you got the, does this work? Oh yeah, so this one is return proposal, and all of those proposals, they are basically receive funding. All of the below, they not receive funding, basic stuff, right? Yeah, and if you want to other people not receive, like all of those people not to receive funding, you basically vote for return proposal, and the steam power of this proposal will increase, and all of the people below will not receive anything, basically. Yeah, and that's how it works, actually, yeah. So there is also a 10 SBD fee, which is very low, but it allows anybody to post a proposal. And this is actually cool. You can test this out, not even with proposals, but with other ideas or questions that you have for community in general. Yeah, and one thing you have to know is that as soon as you posted a proposal, that's it. It's done. You cannot edit it. You can only remove it and post a new one. So that's how it works. Yeah. So there are 4, maybe there are more interfaces where you can create a proposal. So Steam Proposals is one of them. There is also SteamPeak, Steam Wallet, and Steam Explorer. But the way you create a proposal is very simple. You just you cannot see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but like the way it works is like you have a title, you have a perm link for your post. So you actually have to describe the whole post first, and then put a link of this post. And after that, what you do is like you create an account, which will be a receiver account, and the creator account. That can be different. So creator account is something that it's your account, the account that of the person who creates the proposal, and receiver account can be different. In cases like you want to separate your personal account with proposal account, or sometimes it can go very well for teams. You post as a separate member, but it will go to your team account, something like that. Yeah, and that's it. You can submit this with Keychain or Steam Connect. Yep. So there are a few things. I hope, yeah, you can see it. Cool. So there are 3 key elements that I believe really important for composing a really badass proposal. If you follow this, at least this is one thing that you can do, you know, to make sure that everything will go a little bit better. So first, obviously, some basic description, like one-liner, and the detailed description of what you're trying to achieve, right? And it can go starting from the background of the need that you're trying to solve, or the idea that you have in mind, because sometimes there may not be no need like at all, but you find some really cool idea and you want to bootstrap it, and for that you obviously need some basic funding, right? So description first, then you need to figure out what funding and time frame will this proposal last, because I believe what happens right now is that there are like a few proposals that have more than 3 months funding, like 1 year or like 6 months, and this is like way too much, because you have no idea what's going to happen with Steam, with SBD even, because it's not really a stable coin anymore. It's kind of like, you know, fluctuates quite a lot. So we need maybe like to fix SBD first and then figure out what we can do. You know, in this case, it will work, yeah? But to create a proposal that lasts more than 3 months, I think it's quite bold or something like that, because like you never know in crypto. It's like it's impossible to know what's going to happen in 3 months. And then deliverables. So milestones or something like that works really great. Weekly or monthly reporting in your posts or in some I don't know, public tool like Trello or GitHub or something like that actually will be a really good proof of work. But I was actually talking with BlockTrades, trying to figure out a simple, single, unite solution to deliver like an interface for people to see what actually happened after you start receiving funding. Because there are like a lot of choices that you can have for following proposals, you know, but they all may not work really, really great. I mean, like, because there are a lot of them. So you can have a GitHub if it's open source code, but like you still need to, you know, go individually at specific time when you want, right? And check code. You will not do this every day because it doesn't make any sense. Or you will have like Trello cards or whatever else I put it, Steemit posts or something like that, right? But I think like that's too much. So we need to find out the way to make it like very simple for everybody to know. Like maybe I'll add something into UI so that when you create a proposal, you also add milestones, something like that. And then as soon as you fulfill this, like hit this milestone, you just click check. That's it. Maybe something like that can work. But I really need a feedback on this one because I have no idea which one will work better for you guys, all right? And the third one is what I call boosters. It's basically your team background or experience, something like that. Always works. So there are a few reasons why I'm really bullish on SPS. So I was working with DashDAO since 2016. It was only 10K USD a month of the overall budgeting system at that point. Like the whole budget was 10K. That's it. So it was really awesome to learn this from the very beginning, and I've learned a lot. Like what has to be done, what has not to be done, you know, like all of those weird things that people are going through, especially like proving that you've actually done something, like stuff like this. And yeah, but I really see that this can be really big, actually. Steam proposals will be big, and we'll elaborate on this later. So I've seen what this stuff can do for other people, and I really believe that Steam can be one of the blockchains that, because of Steam, because of SPS, it can literally grow, not exponentially, but maybe like gradually, but eventually it will create a network effect and attract a lot of high quality entrepreneurs, businesses, and stuff like this. It will be really, really cool. Yeah, and this is, I think, the only way for long-term growth of Steam. Yeah, there are a few challenges, obviously. The first is that actually somebody told me it's a good thing, but I'm really not sure why. Yeah, because every time when the proposal is finished, it automatically removes from Steam for some reason. Yeah, and this is the way it works, and I'm not sure if this is a good thing, because people who are trying to create a new proposal, they have really no context on what happened before. And so this is really cool to have all of the proposals that are finished and to be able to view those. It's really nice. Yeah, and inactive proposals, they have 0 votes, so you cannot actually see, like on this one, Steam Plus, right? So it's on the bottom right now, and it has like 0 Steam power, but actually it has a ton of upvotes right now. I can do this in UI like manually, but it will dramatically affect the performance of the website, so this is not the best way to do it as well. But we can all of the UI, we can do this stuff, but it will really, the performance will not be good and people will be leaving the website, so yeah. But eventually I probably will do this stuff in any case, so we'll see. Yeah, and the big one, the biggest one probably is that people do not really vote. I mean, you know, yeah, and there are 20 to 30 accounts that actually can make a difference. I mean, in terms of their voting power, because if a million of people will vote for the same proposal, but it's only 1 Steam power, actually it will make sense, but still, you know, make sure you just vote, okay? So especially people with decent Steam power, we actually have to, you know, re-engage all of those people, because there are a lot of accounts with outside of Steemit Inc. accounts. There are a lot of decent good people. I suppose they're human beings, right? So we have to, you know, make sure that they are coming back and doing some good stuff. Yep. So this one is the page that you can actually use. This is the only, what I found, the only interface that you can use to view a separate proposal that you can share on social or anywhere with other people, because most of the time it's only a link to Steam proposals / proposals, or Steam Peak / proposals, or Steam Wallet / proposals, whatever. And I specifically created this one with an ID that you can change for your proposal, and people can view it anywhere. And it's really good, actually. It was specifically designed for social media, for Twitter, Facebook, whatever, so that you can share it kind of like a Kickstarter campaign or something like that. And also, I started to focus a lot on Korean market. Yeah, guys, shout out to Steam Coin Pen guys, they're over here, because what I've seen with Korea is that they have one of the biggest communities in Steam in general, and B, when the bull market in Steam, that it was 8 USD, right, for coin, that was driving a lot of traffic from Korea as well. So Korea is really interested in Steam, so I think we have to make sure that they have native language support. So that's why I've done it. I can actually add more languages, but if I will release more features, it will be really hard for me to update all of the languages at once. It will take some time. Yes, but I can do it. So one of the key takeaways for you is like, vote for proposals. All right. So just go and see which proposals you like. Leave some feedback on initial proposal posts, because people sometimes have no idea whether their proposal is good or not. Maybe one of the things that I also should do, or somebody should do it, is drafts, like creating a post, a pre-proposal, like before you actually release it to the public. That would be actually nice, so that people can comment and receive some feedback, because sometimes maybe your timing may not be right, your funding, your milestones, or something like that, your team background, I have no idea. So we need to make sure we get the feedback first, and then please vote. Okay, that's one of the key takeaways, actually. Yeah, it's actually quite simple with Keychain or Steam Connect. You can do it in any UI, actually. And what I was trying to achieve with SteamProposals.com and what Steam Proposals system in general can do is that it creates this concept of decentralized autonomous organization, which is really complex stuff. I was trying to explain it to somebody last night, and I came up with 3 things. It's decentralized team, it's decentralized company, and decentralized funding. So basically, you can set up a public company, which is not LLC or Inc. or something like that, but it's like a virtual company, which can work still with an office or without the office, depends on your preference. And you can still achieve the same stuff that you would achieve with a normal company. Even sometimes the performance can be better, and the stuff that you deliver will be even greater. Yeah, so essentially what DAO will allow Steam to do is to create dedicated teams of like local teams in Korea, in Venezuela, in Malaysia, in different parts of the globe, and make sure that those teams deliver something that Steam needs at the right time, because sometimes, like for instance, right now is a bear market, so we need to change the strategy a little bit, right? We don't really need marketing and PR right now, because it has zero really effect at all. Yes, so we have to make sure that it works really precisely. But what it can do, you can really create local devs team, local sales team, local marketing team. It's really, really powerful. Also, this thing will attract a lot of high quality entrepreneurs, businesses, and just individual people who want to build cool stuff for blockchain. And what can happen, what happened with Dash actually, they receive their salary, monthly salary from DAO, which is cool. Actually, like Steemit Inc., if implemented right, this can power up the overall payroll of Steemit Inc. and local teams in any country. This is really powerful stuff. Yeah, and this is kind of like a self-sustainable model that will allow Steam to grow fast, but with not exponentially, but as I already told you, there will be at some point the more quality people you attract, the more quality projects will come out from from this work, and the more quality projects you have, the more price of Steam will become, because like the value always grows in comparison to what you give to the community. And after this is done, it will be like a cycle, which is a very good cycle. Yeah, and yeah, it will be a very self-sustainable model that can, be long forever, actually. Yeah. And so if you want to contact me, you can do it like anywhere, basically, like Dmitry DAO. It's like I'm all around. This is my Discord, whatever. Yeah, you can reach me out. I'm open to whatever stuff you have, guys. Yeah, so I hope you have some questions, actually. So let's do it.
Please. Can you use the microphone? Because then the live stream also hears.
Can you explain the pricing level that somebody needs to achieve to be funded? Like how much money or how many votes do they need to fund such and such?
You mean like how much steam power do you need to reach? Okay, this is somewhere here. So it's quite bad, but this is the return proposal. This is the number of steam power that it has, right? This is like a threshold that you need to pass. So this is the number that you have to be above. Like those proposals, they will get funded. All of the below proposals, that they will not receive funding. So you need to make sure you are at least one steam power more than this return proposal. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. More questions? Yeah.
So at the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, the voting for proposals is a binary yes or no. There's no weight on the vote.
Yeah, basically it's yes or no. It depends on how much steam power you have. That's it. Yeah.
So,
the more steam power you have, the more valuable your vote will be.
So that creates a bit of an issue when you vote for the return proposal, because yeah, you know, is there any chance or anything on the horizon to fix that, or do we just sort of fudge it using our dodgy alt accounts?
What exactly do you mean?
Oh, so at the moment, if I want to vote for something above the return proposal, or I want to, say, put about 50% of my available steam power onto the return proposal, I currently have to simulate that using alt accounts. Is there any proposal to, or any way that we could get that so we could put a weighted vote on the return proposal at least?
Actually, I have no idea. I haven't even thought about this one. Yeah, because this is like very special case. Maybe I'll think about something. Let's talk after that, like in detail. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, actually, I think it's possible, but it will take a lot more work to be done. Yeah, but I think it's possible. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
No? Okay.
Before we finish, one thing that I want you guys to live with is that can you reach out to me anywhere and just like add something like feature requests, or like what you guys want to change in this UI, or like what type of features do you want, like in general in Steam Proposals ecosystem? All right, so what type of stuff do you want? What can I change for you to do it like easier? All right, that would be really cool. Yeah, and thanks a lot for yeah.
Thank you, Dimitri. Thanks a lot for the intro. And yeah, I also tried to supply, actually, just 1 second after the Steam return proposal was submitted by Gandalf, I submitted the first, well, not return proposal. It was for funding the same block. Oh, even in the same block, so pretty cool. We were like refreshing. But no, it was for funding the TRF fund, the travel fund. But unfortunately, and it's also the nice thing about Steam proposals, right? It's really democracy. People decide whether to vote it or not vote it. And in this case, people didn't want you to get money through that. Basically, that's what it boiled down to. But can happen, and that's the beauty of it, right? Yep. Okay, thanks a lot. Lunch is now being served. So in the corner is pad thai, the Thai noodle, and then there is a buffet with a selection. You can add as much spice as you want, or leave out as much as you want. And we continue here at 1 p.m. And then also later in the afternoon, some roundtable sessions start. I also advise you to take a look at the house museum. It's here on the staircase, but take off your shoes. Also, below the house, there are 3 round tables. You guess already, they are for the round table sessions. You can sit there, but you can't bring food because it's the museum area. So just so you know. But feel free to eat your lunch anywhere. And see you after lunch. Eet smakelijk. Or Jinkao de Yang. Thanks. Thank you.
No more, no more. It cannot wait.
Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding. Not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, joy, joy. close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are, if this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are, if this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, can this be all we are? crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me, let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding. Not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding. Not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Close to me, there's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me, let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are, if this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are, if this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding. Not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding. Not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my tenderness seep deep inside you, filling you up with a cozy dream. Joy, can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are. If this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Can this be all we are? Can this be all we are and all we'll ever be? Love and joy, you and me. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, joy, joy. Stay close to me. Watch out for the crazy people running around, talking such a world of doubt. Be close to me. Let my stay close to me. There's far too many accidents and hearts colliding, not another casualty. Be close to me. Let my loneliness inform you just how sweet our love will be. Joy, if this is all we are, if this is all we are and all we'll ever be, love and joy, that's fine with me. Joy, 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 joy.